Hello, my name is Braden. This is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video, we are going to take a look at how we might improve the 2024 Ranger. So, as I talked about in my last video, which was the 2024 Ranger Deep Dive, I think there are a few improvements that can be made to the base Ranger class. And so I have made some additional features that we can grab and drop in that might do that. And I wanted to release this video so that you guys could take a look, tell me what you think, and let me know if this indeed helps. So let's start first with looking at what I wanted to achieve with these features. So first of all, I wanted to improve upon the base class only. I am not looking at tweaking any of the subclasses that are present in 2024 Player's Handbook. I think they're all pretty decent. They all do a really good job at giving us additional features that help improve upon the base class features. However, I still feel like the Ranger itself is lacking in a certain identity, so I do want to address that. What I am not looking to do is replace any of the existing features in the class itself. I really wanted to focus on just working with what we have and adding in additional features that will improve upon what is already presented. So this is going to be that of this video. What I also wanted to do was improve upon damage at later levels. So if you have watched Triet Monk's video on the Ranger damage curve, um, he explains pretty well how damage really does drop off for the Ranger class at later levels. And this was something that I really wanted to address. So I've added in a couple features that will help improve that damage curve and make it so that we do not drop off in those late levels of play, and helps make sure that we are able to stand on par with the other marshals that are present in this book. I also wanted to make sure that Hunter's Mark functioned a little bit better with our class. So there are a lot of other spells in the Ranger spell list that require concentration, and unfortunately, the Ranger really wants us to cast Hunter's Mark as often as possible. And in order to do that, we really can't use any of the other spells that we have available. So I really wanted to address this issue um, somewhat and hopefully give us some additional options so that we have the ability to do other things even when we have Hunter's Mark up. So, yeah, looking to do that. And also at level 20, I do believe that we need a better capstone feature. Increasing our Hunter's Mark die to a D10 is just simply not enough and doesn't give enough incentive to get to that level 20 uh, Ranger level. So I really wanted to address that, wanted to add something at level 20 that gave us at least some reason to go all the way there if we really wanted to, and I hope I achieved that. So let's take a look at what features I have created to drag and drop into our Ranger class and improve upon its base features. So, level 5, I've added a feature called Focused Hunter. So when we cast Hunter's Mark, we can modify it so that it doesn't require concentration. When we do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that particular casting. Also, when we use this feature, we can't use it again until we finish a short or long rest. So I really wanted this particular feature to focus on the detriment of Hunter's Mark, which is that it requires concentration. However, I didn't want to just add a feature that let us cast Hunter's Mark without concentration, because I do feel like that would be really poor game design, because the Warlock doesn't get a particular feature that lets them cast Hex without concentration. But since Ranger wants to really focus on Hunter's Mark as a spell, they really do need some feature that lets them use Hunter's Mark and doesn't prevent them from doing other things with their class, such as casting other spells that require concentration, because unfortunately, Hunter's Mark is preventing them from doing that and preventing them from being more viable and more diverse with what they want to do. So, this feature should address that. It is only once per short or long rest, so it doesn't give us something that we can use all the time. But if you really want to maximize this, you can make sure that you take rests to get this feature back and use it in combat. And there may be an improvement to this later on. So, yeah, I feel like this uh, focuses on what the base issue is with Hunter's Mark and gives us an ability to take away that detriment at least occasionally. So it's not super powerful, but it does help with this particular issue. At 6th level, I wanted to give a feature called Hunter's Strike. So once per turn, when we deal damage to a creature marked by our Hunter's Mark spell, we can cause the target to take an extra 1d6 force damage. So since Ranger really wants, or since Wizard of the Coast really wants us to focus on casting Hunter's Mark, I really wanted to give us another incentive for doing so. So once per turn, we can deal additional damage as long as we are targeting our Hunter's Mark creature. So yeah, I felt like this was a really niche feature. This does increase our damage potential slightly. It's not crazy damage, but it's very much in line with what Hunter's Mark does, and just increases our potency against our Hunter's Mark target slightly. So I felt like this was a good improvement. At 10th level, I wanted to add a feature called Foe Hunter. This increases the damage die of our Hunter's Mark to a D8 rather than a D6. So at level 20, we get Foe Slayer, which increases our Hunter's Mark die to a D10 rather than a D6. So I really felt like there should be something in the middle of the class that does something similar but gives us that middle mark. So that is what Foe Hunter is designed to do. This is not a crazy feature, but I felt like it's a necessary one. So I added it in here. At 13th level, we do get improved Hunter Strike. This will increase the extra damage of our Hunter Strike to 2d6. So this will help uh, fill the damage gap, or the reduced damage potential at later levels. If you combine this improved Hunter Strike with the Foe Hunter, this reducing our damage, or this is increasing our damage potential slightly. And if you pair this with Focused Hunter, it is greatly improving our damage potential, especially at later levels, because at this point we should have third and potentially fourth level spells, and then eventually fifth level spells. So we will be able to greatly increase what we do during a combat. So I feel like this narrows that damage gap and hopefully doesn't give too much of an, especially since the dice for improved Hunter Strike are D6s and it's only once per turn, and then the slight increase or slight bonus for Hunter's Mark uh, is not too much to power it as well. Um, I've added in improved Hunter Strike twice here, so apologize for that. So at level 20, I have two features here. that I wanted to add. The first is Master Hunter. When we use our Focused Hunter feature, which we got at 5th level, we can use it again, or we can't use it again until we roll initiative or finish a short or long rest. Now that we're at level 20, I feel like it makes sense for us to be able to use this much more often. So, at least once per combat, we can cast Hunter's Mark without requiring concentration. And then and because of that, we now have our concentration freed up to cast any other spell that we might want. So I really feel like this improves upon that feature and gives us a good capstone that really improves upon what we are wanting to do with our Hunter's Mark spell. And then finally, and then also at level 20, I wanted to really improve upon what I've given based. So Superior Hunter Strike increases the extra damage of our Hunter Strike to 2d10. This this falls in line now that at level 20 our Hunter's Mark is dealing a d10. I felt like Hunter Strike should be dealing tens as well. So now, because of this, our damage potential should be pretty good at level 20, and we really should see an improvement because of this. And I feel like there's not going to be any damage drop off at later levels now because we get these features later on. So I feel like this is a good improvement to the base class. Yeah, so I wanted to add in, I think there's are 6 or 7 features that I added in here and really just wanted them to improve upon the base class. I didn't want to replace anything, I just wanted to improve on what was already there. So I hope that these features do that. Please let me know what you think. If you have any comments or concerns, just let me know and we can discuss it. I may have overtuned some things, but I didn't want to give too much of a bonus, or I didn't want to give too much of a difference, and I really wanted things to try to stay in line with what we see in other classes. Hunter Strike is really something that I kind of based off of the Divine Strike seen in the Cleric, and Paladins get their improved uh, divine, or I don't know if they're called divine strikes. I just talked about it in a couple videos ago. But 11th level, they get a feature that adds additional radiant damage. So I wanted something that kind of did something similar to that. And I felt like the best way to do this was just to give them additional damage once per turn. So, and then let it focus on Hunter's Mark, since that is something that Ranger really wants to focus on in their base class. So, yeah, I hope I did what I sought out to do. Let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know if feel like I didn't need to do this, or if you just have any concerns. I feel like Ranger is pretty good. It's just lacking a couple things, and I didn't want to give too many things that changed it, but I wanted to improve upon what was lacking. That was mainly better capstone features, damage at later levels, and I just wanted to fill in some of the gaps that felt like the class was really lacking in, and I hope I achieved that for you. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys all later. See ya.